Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start reviewing algebra. Now, you would have covered some of this in Year 7, so for most of you, you'll find this is review. Now, what we're going to need to refresh our memory on is some of the terms that are related to algebra. So we've got variables, sometimes they're called pronumerals. We've got terms, expressions, coefficients, constants, and equations. So an expression and an equation is what we're going to have a look at first of all. To do that, what I've done is I've come up with a problem that we could represent using algebra. Algebra is the branch of mathematics where we can perform calculations, and instead of just using numbers, we can use letters to represent values. So you can see here in part 1 of my problem, I've said that Sam has B blue pens. Now in primary school, you might have done that with squares or triangles, and so different shapes could have represented the number. In algebra, we let a letter represent a particular number. So in this case, Sam has B blue pens. So if we want to write down how many blue pens Sam has, we would have to write B, because that's all we know. The only thing we know for how many blue pens Sam has is he has B blue pens. This is referred to as a term. Okay, we've been given a single value to represent an amount. This is a term. And in this case, the letter B is also our variable or our pronumeral. Okay, the letter that is representing the value. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Sam has 3 times as many red pens as he has blue pens. So if we want to write down a value for how many red pens, a term for how many red pens Sam has, we'd have to do it in terms of our letter for blue pens. So you can see here it says he has 3 times as many red pens as he has blue pens. So if he has B blue pens, that means that he has 3B red pens. So here's our second term. You can see this time we've got a term 3B. So here's our amount of blue pens. Here's our amount of red pens. These are terms. You can see this term is just B for blue pens. This term is 3B, and it represents the amount of red pens that Sam has. Now in the second term, so we're looking at 3B, you can see I've added something extra. I've got a number in front of my variable. In this case, when we have a number in front of a variable, that's referred to as a coefficient. So in that second term, 3B, the coefficient is the value 3. So when you're asked what the coefficient is, you'd be able to say the coefficient is 3. Now if we want to get the total number of blue pens and red pens, what we'd have to do is join those together with a symbol. Because we want to know a total, the symbol that we'd have to use is a plus sign. So the total number of pens that Sam has, blue and red, would be B plus 3B. This is the amount of blue pens he has. This is the amount of red pens he has. Blue and red would be B plus 3B. We've now come up with an expression. An expression represents a value. So this expression is telling me that the total number of blue and red pens he has is B plus 3B. We're given a third part to this problem. Sam has 7 black pens. This time, instead of being represented by the variable, we've been given a number. This gives us our term a constant. In this case, our constant is going to be 7. So we've now got a constant of 7. We've got terms of B, 3B, and 7. We've got an expression to represent the total number of pens, blue, red, and black. And our expression is B plus 3B plus 7. So there's our blue pens, plus our red pens, plus our black pens. We've got an expression. And if we actually came up with a final part and added an equal sign, if we said that that was equal to 15, we've now turned our expression into an equation. So you can see our equation has a left-hand side expression equal to a right-hand side expression. And so in this case, we've got an equation. So our variable, in this case, our variable is b. Let's review. Our variable is the letter b. Our terms are b, 3b, 7. Our expression would be b plus 3b plus 7. Our coefficient, we look at one of the terms, so our coefficient for 3b would be 3, a digit in front of the pronumeral. Our constant is our number here, the 7 or the 15. And our equation is our total b plus, our total mathematical phrase, b plus 3b plus 7 is equal to 15. So these are the terms that we need to review for our topic of algebra.